Are you ready? It's that show. It's that show you've heard about. It's that show you tell your friends about. It's that show you don't want to miss.
All right. Next up, we're going to go ahead and let Tiffany go ahead and. What's your topic?
Okay, so my topic is pretty simple, right? The question that I wanted to kind of get an answer to is why is it always a problem with the time? If I don't have enough time, if the hours, and I think you touched on this earlier, Paige, if the hours that they're reaching out, I am not available, particularly um, in the evenings or pretty much any time of the day, why is it a problem about me not having that time? Why do I have to be with someone else? Why is it somebody else in the picture? I work like 3 jobs. How can I absolutely always have time? So I guess that would be the question. Like, why is it a problem with time? And why, if I don't have time for you, why is it that I'm seeing somebody else?
So let me say this first, and I know this is probably going. Some folks not gonna agree with me. That's not unusual. So there's this saying: "You make time for what you want." I don't believe that. Because there's times when there were things that I have wanted to do over the years when I did not have time, right? So you cannot always make time for what you want.
Yep.
Whether it is the relationship or anything, you might want to just sleep. You just don't have time. And so for me, and it's just my thoughts, the people who will automatically accuse you of somebody else or something like that, I think it's that person. It's the insecurity in that person. Because that could be why I'm single then.
Okay. I mean, me too.
I gotta. Okay.
Me too.
I feel like I got an unpopular opinion on this.
Okay.
I do think you make time for what you want to make time for. But I think why are we even engaging if you don't have time to date? Why are we trying to date, or why are we trying to get to know each other if we don't have time? Because
that's where I was coming from. Is that we make time. We do make time for what's important to us, even if it's 15 minutes. Run by here so we can see each other. Because we're all busy. Everybody always has something to do, right? But if you can't meet the needs of that person, then they are gonna find somebody who will meet.
And you ain't like them for real, sis. You ain't like them because I feel like when you like somebody, you gonna figure it out.
No, okay. So here's the thing: it's not necessarily said I didn't like it for real, but what it does entail is kind of something to like what we're talking about, right? Time sometimes get away from me. I feel like I need 27 hours and 8 days a week, right? Just because so many things that I have going on. I guess the issue kind of lies in me saying, well, I don't have time at the moment that you have time available for me, but this is the time that I have available for you. I'm willing to deprive myself of sleep or deprive my family of their time that they have missed for me to say, hey, this is the time I have for you. Well, ultimately, it turned out not to be a good time for him, right?
Right.
Because now the time not matching up, or the time is kind of saying to him, oh, you on something else.
Yeah.
Well, in actuality, I'm not. Yes, you do make time for the things you want to take and make time for, but priorities come first.
Yeah. So
right?
then to me, I think, not saying to you, I'm saying in general speaking, I just think people shouldn't really be dating or trying to engage, because if you don't have time to do this, because that's where I run into too. Like I'm a business owner, I bartend part-time, I teach yoga, like I got a lot of stuff and my kids, and then I get with somebody that's equally like he just as busy, so maybe we don't need to be trying to do this if we don't have time to do it.
But see, that comes to also a halt too, right? Because we have to find a happy medium. Right. Okay. So let's use popular people that we all know about these couples, right? The Obamas, or how can we say J and B, right? These are people who have schedules that are booked out 2 years from now, right? B let us all know that she counted down the days on tour. I ain't seen him in 99 days, and I'm down to day 1. I'm on a plane. I'm coming, baby, for 2 hours to be with you. Because that's how much I care about you in that time, right? So I feel like if you need time to build your business, I need time to build my business. And if Saturday is the day that works for us, because it happens to work for me, does it work for you? We're going to try to find a way to meet each other, right?
Yeah, I do think that there has to be a happy medium.
It has to be a happy medium.
But if that other person is complaining and they're not willing to deal with the happy medium,
you're not for me. You're not for me, right? Right. And so then here goes the other thing, right? It's always okay at first, right? Oh, it's no problem. But, you know, being who I am, I'm transparent, you know. I own my own business. I have my own products. I'm also traveling doing hair. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm going to be behind somebody's camera, and I'm not technically in front of the camera. But pull up on me while I'm here.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Pull up on me while I'm here. I know I got an 8-hour photo shoot that I'm gonna be at all day, right?
Bring me some lunch. Bring me some Starbucks.
Come and say hey. You ain't even gotta bring nothing. Just pull up on me.
No,
right?
bring me some.
But have that conversation. But you don't bring me some. But
bring me some Starbucks. You know my order.
I mean,
and you copy my order, like.
And it's in your phone already. You know what I like, but still just come. But how about meet me on a vacation? I ain't had a vacation in a couple weeks. Right, where I said the vacation could be self-care at home, right, sleeping all day, self-care going to the massage parlor. But if I say, okay, I ain't had time for you in about 2 months, I'm sorry I deprived you, but let's get away for a weekend. Let's make it our weekend. Meet me in Florida. That's I ain't got no. Well, I can't. Well, then you're not for me, right?
But see, you know
you gotta meet with someone who's compatible.
Yeah, that can, lifestyle compatibility.
That has
that's
that
the real
can take
thing.
Off work. That don't have certain commitments where
I like retired
have PTO
men.
and all.
I like retired men.
It just sounds like in that particular situation, like y'all just not equally yoked, like. And also, like, being realistic with ourselves, too, because sometimes I think we go into things, thinking I might have the time, but then figure out that you don't. So it's like being realistic, like, you know what? I actually really don't have time to date right now. I don't have time to, like,
that, too, right? See,
get to know somebody.
You can say that, right? Yeah. You can say that, but then again, think about it. You do want to have some time, right? Some me time, and that includes being grown.
I think you can fit. So
you can fit it in for sure.
You can. There's, like you said, if you're somewhere for 8 hours, you know. So I do events. So if I'm at an event, come on through the event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can hang out. If I'm in Chicago and I'm staying at my favorite cheap hotel, you know, come on, get in the hot tub.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta sleep at some point. Yeah. You know, so I'm gonna be there during this time period. Now I might not let you stay, but I might. You never know. I might need my nervous system. What did you say?
Deregulated. Girl, goodbye. Okay, goodbye.
But so that's how you make time. But some people want time their way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if they want it their way, then they just might be.
So I think, but it goes back to what you were saying before. It's really about communication. Like communicating, like, this is my availability. So I had one that, like, he works nights. So he had a business, but he still had his job, and he worked nights. So he worked 4 nights a week. So I'm like, so on one of those 4 nights off, you work 4 on 4 off. That should be, you should be working ahead to know, okay, Trina, you off Friday, I'm off Friday, and then we should be doing something. So it's like that the communication, like what your expectations are, but then him communicating, like, that's not gonna work for me, and then we don't gotta prolong this.
Exactly. Right, but see, too, I also get thrown off, right? Because I've also had a situation where I'm like, okay, we've been knowing each other for like years spanning. He kind of retired, but he not retired. But he kind of retired. He a young cat too. He not old, right? But he retired, but he not retired. So gotta say that again. He semi.
He retired,
but you know,
not retired.
the thing is, with this situation, it's the distance, right? Exactly, right.
It's what?
Right, the distance, right? So I say, well, my timing is crazy, your timing is crazy because you're working, not working, and I'm working, always working. Let's get together. When you give me that hesitation, then you really don't want the time that you claim that you want. Mm-hmm. See, now I'm feeling all type of ways, right? Because I'm thinking, well, maybe I haven't made time. Maybe I really don't want to be in a relationship because we're not evenly yoked in, and I'm feeling, you know. But really, you don't even really want the time, right? Because, see, it also falls back. If you are saying to me, if I have time, then I'll make it if I want to, then the time is available. You need to try to make yourself available as well. Mm-hmm. We, again, have to find that happy medium. Do you know?
I agree, but I feel like if you really him, baby, I'm gonna make a way.
But see, even for him, right? But see, even for him,
I don't know how you gonna do that though, because in reality, you still have kids. You got kids.
Though, so I can't really use that excuse.
Like how big are your kids?
I got 21, 16, and 11. My kids big.
11 is still.
That's still baby time. Like
11
I got
is
a
still a
24-year-old.
kid,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, not that I can still kind of move around. Though,
right, because you got the 16-year-old, whatever. But you know, so back in the day when I had kids, you know, that was the thing. And I understand people when you have kids, because I don't want you to put me ahead of your kids either. And I don't date men with young kids because I just already know.
Me neither.
I don't want to do that. I'd be resentful.
That's not so hypocritical.
As soon as your kid got to go to,
now date men with little kids.
Got to go do something. You got to tell me no because the kid got to do something. I'm be like, yeah, this is not working.
It's not the way.
I thought I liked him, but I don't like him.
Wait, this is not because that's not lifestyle compatibility.
Right.
I tried it. I met a guy years ago. I was in a relationship with him for 3.5 years. Great guy, still a great guy, all of that stuff. But he had young kids, and so, you know how we talk to ourselves. You be like, well, I don't want to just let a good guy go because he got kids. That's probably shallow. I should really give it a chance. And I gave it a chance, and he was a good guy. But I became resentful because, you know, the mother, his ex-wife, she was one of them last minute kind of people. All of a sudden, you know, the Christmas whatever thing is this week or today. And, you know, so now he got to drop whatever we doing. And he got to go do that. She did that one day, one weekend. It was my birthday weekend. I don't know if y'all know how seriously I take my birthday.
Yes.
How as serious as I take mine?
Girl, okay, I'm going to have to send you my invite for my birthday weekend, right? But I take my birthday seriously. And you going to cancel my birthday weekend because one of your kids got to do something? That's unheard of. I don't understand this. No.
My reasoning is a little different. I don't like to date men with little kids because I have no desire to do any more mothering.
Definitely not that.
So I'm like, I'm doing enough mothering, so I don't want to be obligated.
My kid's grown, so I've already lived that life, and I have no desire to make any sacrifices for anybody else's kids.
I thought I was selfish for that. I'm like, I'm selfish because I'm being honest that I don't want to do any more mothering.
You should be selfish. When you are choosing a mate, that is when you're supposed to be selfish.
You could be
when you're choosing a mate, because you got to choose what's right for you. You don't
want to be
become what's right for somebody else. You choose what's right, and that's what people got. Some people got backwards. They want to be that person for somebody else. No, you choose what is right for you.
Yeah, for you, for sure.
You don't try and be that person for somebody else.
I'm not trying to coordinate my kids' soccer games with your kids' soccer games, and I'm not going to do all that.
I mean, you know what? Honestly, I don't even know what I would do around a baby. Like, the kid would probably just, they'll be like Tiff. Like, they'll just, I would be the Tiffer because, my son is 24. Yeah. I'd have been through polo seasons. I'd have been traveled everywhere with him for polo. We done did everything you could think of. I mean, I don't know what I would do with a kid. Like, the kid would literally just, I would just go to the mall. I don't know what to do with it. You know, just make sure he got everything it needs. And because I don't have time for it. I probably wouldn't necessarily be a good fit, because again, the timing is an issue. I don't have time for it. So I don't even know how to step into that situation. Now, I say this wholeheartedly. You really never know what God got planned for you, right? You never know who your love is going to be. You never know what your future is. So my future man probably do have some children, right? Hopefully they not babies. Little kids. Hopefully they teens. I'll give them a teen, right? Because you can't really, everybody got their stuff. But I'm not the person that's going to be, I still PTA, and my baby is grown, and I still go back to the school. I don't even go to no other folks' school, only because we have like a good family communication, right? My son's school, we grew up basically together, very small private school, right? So you kind of get a different handle. I wouldn't have a clue what to do with a child now. They come out already on the phones, they telling you already what to do, and I'm just looking at people who I know got kids. The kid will fall off the couch, and I literally would just be like, I didn't know it fell,
I didn't know it fell. I didn't know it fell.
I was going to say she called it it.
I didn't know it fell. And
not it. Not the baby is it.
Like that. But coming from a person who's been single, my son is 24, that space, I just haven't been in that space. My house is not even constructed for kids.
Right.
I got big kids.
Do you know what I mean?
I got big kids. My youngest is 33.
Right.
So I wouldn't have no clue
what to do.
I mean, I got grandkids.
So you can love them and send them off.
You a grandma.
Right. Yep, I love them and I send them back.
That's what grandparents do, right? They love them.
Yeah.
They give them everything and they send them off. I'm glad I'm not in that phase yet.
I lock my door. turn off the lights. Like, you
I don't
ain't
wanna do
got
no more. I
none
don't
of
want to be
that.
nobody's stepmama.
You said what?
Will
Will?
had a
Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there.
Will?
Will, did you have a comment?
Mike Will made it.
Uh-oh.
Miss
Uh-oh.
X, I just
You pointed at me.
yeah.
I must be in for it.
This is directed to you, because I got a question before I start assuming stuff.
Okay.
Right?
He said
You
before
said-
start assuming.
With the situation with the guy, and he said he had something to do with his child, right? On your birthday weekend or whatever, right? And so if the situation was reversed, how would that be?
If I had so you also heard me say that I don't expect anybody to put me ahead of their kids, because I'm not putting nobody. When my kids were young, they were my priority. So I understand it. I understand that. Those were his kids. He should go and attend to his kids. What I'm saying is, after that experience, I know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that I will never put myself in that situation ever again. So I won't date a man with young kids, so I don't have to be in that situation.
But everybody up here mothers, right? Everybody, right? When do you ever stop being a mother, though? You know what I mean? So
It's different when you got grown kids.
It hit way different for sure.
Yeah, I got grown ones myself, but what I'm saying, yeah, it does. But at this, depending on the situation, you still gonna be front and center.
Yeah, if my oldest daughter in Dallas called and said something was going on and she needed me to be there, then I would be on whatever flight was leaving next.
So now, your counterpart at that time, whatever the situation is, right? If he felt the way about that, now how would you take that?
If he felt the way about what?
About you just jumping on the flight and just going
And it
to
was his
going to
birthday.
joy.
That's his issue to deal with. So he has to deal with it the way that he's going to deal with it. That don't have nothing to do with me. I'm making my decision for my life, and that's what I do. And
That's
so
like a one-off
when it comes to
situation,
my
though.
kids, if it's anything else outside of my kids, and okay, so there's some stuff that my kids know not to bother me with. So they're not going to bother me unless it's something for real, right? Especially if they want me to hop on a plane. She know this shit. I'm not coming just because she feel like seeing me. Well, I have done that too, but I didn't have no. But if I'm in a relationship and something is going on seriously with my kid, either one of them, and I need to be there, then I'm going to be there. Because I feel like we all make choices in our lives. And so my kids are grown. So the potential for something like that happening is very slim, versus when you have kids that depend on you 24/7. So if you got a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old, even an 11-year-old, those people depend on you, period, for everything. My kids don't depend on me for everything. So if something happens out of the blue and it's an emergency, he's either gonna understand it or he's not. That's the only options. He's either gonna understand it or he's not.
So it'd be fair to say, if you're dealing with somebody and their kids are not of a certain age,
I won't deal with them. I don't deal with men with young kids.
Okay.
If they under 25, because even if they in college, when they in college, they still like
still
your
babies.
kids.
Yeah,
You
they
still
still
got to
your
deal with them.
babies,
They taking your money still.
bill,
I
yeah.
might want to spend some of that money.
Yeah, their bill.
You got to
Ain't
give it
wrong.
to your kids. What?
Yeah.
They need to be
It's
grown
true.
and gone and on their own.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
So, and people could call me. I had a guy after my kids first got grown, and I said I didn't date men with young kids, and he said, "Didn't somebody date you when you had young kids?" I said, "Yep." That was their choice.
Right. Yeah.
I'm making a different choice. I ain't got to make the same choice he made. I'm making a choice for me. He made a choice for him.
Right.
For him, it was feasible to date me. For me, it's not feasible to date a man with young kids.
Because you had two different places in life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You want to get up and move around. You might want to travel. You want to do it. Now you got to wait to see who he got a babysitter. Like,
I had a friend
Baby
one
mama
year.
got the kid.
He called me. He's a Cowboys fan too, and he called me. He said he had some tickets to the Cowboys game, a real game, right? I had never seen the Cowboys play live, He said, I got a ticket to the game because somebody had backed out or whatever. He said, do you want to go? He said, and I'll get your plane ticket too. I said, when that plane leaving? You know, I ain't have to get no babysitter. Yeah. I ain't have to ask nobody nothing, tell nobody nothing. I just said, when is the plane leaving? I went and got my suitcase and headed to the airport. You know, when you got young kids and stuff, you can't do that kind of stuff. No. You got to find a babysitter, you all that. Yeah, no.
Man, the most I got with babies is puppies. The 2 dogs, I don't know why I got them because I still got to find a pup sitter for them unless I want to fly them out with me.
I ain't doing no dog. I ain't doing no cat.
I can't wait till my kids get.
I ain't doing nothing that makes me have to spend my time tending to it.
For sure.
Even if it's on the floor. I'm not doing that. I don't even have fish no more. I don't have no fish, no bird, no rabbit. None of that stuff.
Carefree, literally.
I am carefree. If somebody called right now and said, hey, after the show, come on, let's go to Vegas, I'd be like, okay, I'll be right over there. Okay. Can we stop and shop? Do I have to go home and pack or what?
Let's just shop when we get there. I like those type of trips. I can just shop when I get there.
I can go do what I want to do, and I love it. Because I had my oldest daughter when I was 18, so I've always had a kid, and I've always had a man. So I've either been married or I've been in a relationship. So this is like the longest time that I've not, I ain't had no kids in a while. You know, they've been grown. Once they got grown, they was grown. But this is like one of the longest times I've really been single. And it's still only been 3 years, you know. So, but I am enjoying it more than I thought I would, because I think as women we're almost conditioned to believe that we gotta be in a relationship to really be taken seriously. Like, oh, you single, oh, you gonna die alone with a dog. But it ain't gonna be no man that's the dog that I'm gonna die alone with.
People say that as an insult.
I know.
And it's like, that don't sound so bad.
Right.
Why? Because I don't got a man deregulating my nervous system every day.
There we go, deregulating nervous system. But you know, I would definitely rather be single than be with some dude that's not treating me how I feel like
I'd rather be single than settle. I'm not about to settle. So if that means I gotta be single, but that's what we were talking about before. Some people are not okay with being alone. When you really get to that space of you're okay with being alone and you prioritize your peace. I have posted this before, and I will say it, and I will stand on this hill, baby. If your presence don't feel as good as my peace, you can't be here.
You can't.
You can't be here.
I agree with that. 100%.
So if I'm alone with my dog,
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
That's right.
I'm okay with that.
I agree with that. 100%.
Peace is everything, because people don't realize stress and all those other things, they bring on disease, right? Mm-hmm. They change our whole metabolism, hormones, everything.
Oh, did we talk about this on the last time I was here? Because you know that's what my book is about.
Oh, yeah, yourself. Yeah. She did self-help. We were talking about that.
Yeah, Fly Girl with Fibro is my journey. I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and it's a chronic pain condition. And the thing about it is there's really not enough research. They really don't know what causes fibro. It is thought to be a nervous system condition. Because my nervous system was deregulated for 20 years. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's all related.
I believe it.
But I really believe that, and I say, like, stress manifests itself into physical pain. My personal definition of fibro, I think it's all the pain, trauma, secrets, everything that we keep in, the emotional, mental stuff that we don't deal with, it manifests itself into physical pain.
It does.
So now that I'm in a space, I do very well with it. I manage it. I'm not on any medication. People always say, like, you are doing great as somebody that's supposed to have like a chronic pain, because I had to figure out, like, okay, some of this stress, people, baby daddy, y'all gotta go. Y'all deregulated my nervous system. And the minute I did that and started my healing journey and my mental health, now I'm up here doing this. Now I feel better. And I don't gotta be on medication. Because I don't let people, my peace is more important. So I'm gonna always stand on that. Like, my peace is more important.
Your peace is important.
But for me, physically, like, you could see the difference in when I wasn't in a peaceful place, when I was letting people stress me out, when I'm in this stressful, toxic relationship, I'm in pain every day, to Trina now at 40, like, it's a totally different person.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what kind of ties back into, like, having that understanding, like, my time is not always necessarily in places where it's with someone else. Sometimes my time is too focusing on me, you know, for myself, right? Yeah. Because if you don't find time to understand, listen, work is work. Honey, I want to spend time with you. My time is limited. Him thinking that it's somewhere else. You could have missed something that's regulating your body, right? Because you're not paying attention to your body. Small times allow you to really know and focus on yourself. That's really what allows us to know how to love, how to be loved, who understands our time, who gets our time, you know, and maybe too, like you said, seeing who is really evenly yoked with us. But we could miss all of that, right? Because if I'm too busy trying to get him my time and make a time for him to make him feel some type of way, you could absolutely forget about yourself. And so it still circles back around to understanding that no, my time may not always be with someone else. It could just be with me.
That's right.
Right? Because self-care is more than that.
Selfish.
It is being selfish. We have to be selfish.
We do.
We have
Selfish
to.
is not a bad thing.
I mean, I don't look this young at 43 for nothing. Period.
I ain't even gonna say how old I am because I insist
Baby,
on my time.
Baby, we not even gonna
I
start about
insist
you.
on my time.
Okay.
Absolutely insist on my. I'm gonna get my
Yeah.
massages in. I'm gonna get my
Have
hot
to.
tub time in.
Yep.
All the things
Yep.
that I love to do. I'm gonna
Yep.
get my pedicures because I love that luxury foot massage thing. With all that stuff. I'm gonna get that stuff in. And you know what? When you love yourself, I guess I got it too close. When you love yourself, then you raise your standards as to what you will accept. Like you were talking about settling. If you love yourself, you're not gonna let nobody
not
come
gonna
in and
settle.
dog you
Yes.
out.
And bare minimum.
Like, are you out your
breadcrumb
mind?
I'm
You
showing
think
you
you
how to
gonna
love me.
sex again?
I'm showing you how to love me. The way
Right.
I take care of
love
myself,
myself.
the way
You
I
gotta
hold
come here.
myself, the way I even run my businesses should show a man this is how I need to approach her, right? Because see, you would think that men would say, well, listen, the type of woman this is, I know how I need to approach her. And 9 times out of 10, we got to almost knock them up.
You know what they
I
say?
don't do that.
They look at you and they say, she gonna be too much work.
Too much
Oh,
work.
absolutely.
And then
She
they
gonna be
run.
too much
I've
work.
heard that. I've heard that before. I've heard that I intimidate dudes. And I'm like, intimidate? How? But just saying I'm not even as successful as I want to be, but the success that I have is even intimidating. Again, you're not even for me, right? And then I thought I liked you, but then again, you
figured
don't
I
really
don't
like
like
me, you know. So
Well, I've certainly heard that I have appeared to be high maintenance or
I heard that.
too much work.
thank you.
And I'm not
And
gonna dim my
so-
life though. I'm not gonna dim my life for nobody. If you insecure, you feel away. That's a you problem, baby. That ain't got nothing to do with
Right.
Trina.
You know what? I want to ask. Hey, Will, can you come up to the mic for a minute? I just want to ask a man, what is too much work? What does that mean when men say women look like they too much work? What does that mean you got to do?
For me, when I hear that, is if nothing is not reciprocated,
Put
Talk
your
in the mic.
mic.
if everything's not equally balanced, if I'm doing all the work, all the pushing, everything, and you just talking about what you want, yeah, that's too much. No, beat it.
No, I think she's talking more in the sense of like, you know, seeing a woman that is established, that is, you know, kind of well off, kind of really taking care of herself. Can you imagine a woman in that sense and say, oh no, she's too much, I ain't gonna deal with her because she's too much maintenance?
Because that, for me, that's gonna give me that motivation. Like, oh, I can do whatever it is I'm doing. I can, because even though me personally, I have females that I'm around. I say it like that, right? Because I'm not gonna put no names on nothing, right? I have females that I'm around, right? That they are like that, right? And just talking to them and dealing with them, that give me internally what I need. Like, yep, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? I don't look at that as
So they inspire you.
and motivate you.
That-
As it
that's
should.
how
And that's what should happen.
Yeah, that's
But
how
a lot
it's
of men
Right.
just be insecure.
Let me get some of that so I can just sprinkle it on all the men, do a little seasoning on all of them.
Instead of you too much work, because they think, I don't know what they think.
But it goes back to what we was talking about before. When you got the women that are okay with here, and then you got to come up here, they like, no,
That's
that's
too
doing
much
too much.
work.
I'm gonna go back down here because I ain't got
Okay.
to do all that with her.
Yeah.
And she chasing behind me, and she got me up on a pedestal. So why I'm gonna come over
Yeah.
here and put you on a pedestal when she put me on one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
And I ain't finna do it.
it's a shame, you know that
I'm not putting you on a. Baby, we both can't be the pretty princess. Like it's one or the other.
yeah, right. Yeah, I hope he don't want to be pretty princess.
Baby, one.
I know.
That was funny when you said both of us can't be pretty
Both of us can't be pretty princess.
I had to slow it down in my head. Like, did she say pretty princess?
Like pretty.
Right. Yeah. I hope he not trying to be that girl.
But they do.
So Paige, what's the secret though? Cause you just, I mean, you glowing in yours. So what?
Well, thank you.
No, I've learned that, you know, my relationship, everything hasn't been perfect, right? But we had to learn that if we were going to stay together, we were going to have to make some changes, both of us, right? And compromise is a big thing that either one person doesn't think that they have to do, or the other person doesn't think that they. But if you don't learn to compromise with your partner, you're gonna be very unhappy. And so I've learned that who I am is not who he is, and I'm okay with that, right? And who he is not who I am. And as long as he accepts me for who I am, all the, you know, I'm a question person. I ask tons of questions. I love to tell a story, you know, and he is very, when we go out, I'm more quiet. And the reason I'm quiet is because he's the talker. You can't have two people sitting in there and we just going at it, and it's 5 other people, 6 other people, and he just going at it. So a lot of times people are like, Paige so quiet. He'd be like, no, she ain't. But I pull back to let him shine.
It's like when you saw it, we go out and you be like, I'm the shy one. Like, you are not shy. What are you talking about?
I can be shy.
She always trying to play the innocent one.